Hey, everybody. Thanks for downloading another episode of the Black and Gold podcast brought to you by Boonshine Brewing Company. And back and better than ever, it's the El Chupacabra. It's our take on a Mexican hot chocolate stout. This spiced stout brings silky vanilla, warming cayenne, and rich roasted chocolate flavors. Perfect for a cold day when you need a little extra warmth. And we thank them for being an awesome sponsor and making the high country a better place. And all of a sudden, I want a little Chupacabra chocolate stout. I'm feeling it. I'm your host of the Black and Gold podcast, Alex Johnson. With me, as always, the world's most famous App State fan. He is Big C. And Big C, what are we thinking about the stout?
Oh, it's a favorite out there. I have a lot of friends who are like, "Hey, is that on tap? Can I come up there and get some?" I'm like, "I haven't heard about it, man." The nitro is really good when they do that, but this is a favorite. This is a cult hit. The El Chupacabra. Yeah. So when it's out, you got to go get it.
Got to go get it. Got to go warm yourself up. Okay, so here we are. We are recording this on a Wednesday night. It is January 14th, which means we are ticking ever closer to the closing of the transfer portal, which is always a very interesting thing. And now we've had a lot of activity in the last week since we recorded. We kind of knew that, Charles. You kind of had hinted at that. As we get closer, we're probably going to see a flurry of activity. So we have maybe some of that to talk about. We have wrestling to talk about, women's basketball and men's basketball to discuss. Just another mid-January, very quiet, nothing too crazy episode. I did look at something though. I don't know what made me look at this. I don't remember what it was, but I went back and looked at our rec. Oh no, it was RJ Hunter. RJ Hunter got his number retired. Did you see that on the Twitters?
Yes, I did. I did see a little bit of some Georgia State players getting some whatever it was Hall of Fame things going on, and I can't remember who the others were, but I saw RJ Hunter.
So I remember, RJ Hunter was obviously very good, and I just seem to remember, Georgia State when we first got to the Sun Belt, was really like they were kind of like the basketball school in the Sun Belt,
Yeah.
and and Ron Hunter was a really good basketball coach. Of course, Charlie Cobb fired him and hasn't replaced him well, which who's surprised? But
it's never a firing.
Oh, I'm sorry. His contract was not renewed.
Yeah, it's just a disagreement.
Disagreement
about things.
There you go.
Yeah.
But RJ was really good. Played in the NBA for a little bit. But I remember we beat him in Boone. I remember we beat him our first year. Now I looked at the score when we went down there we went down to Atlanta after we beat them in Boone. I think they doubled our score.
It was awful.
Yeah.
I don't know what the score was, but I can tell you what I was doing. I was in a different house.
Where were you? You were.
I was at the townhouse, and I was like,
yeah,
not fun.
It was like 83-47.
It was disgusting.
They were very mad about that, but I saw that. I was like, man, I just remember that like there was very little because I was at that game. I was at that game, and that was the first. Was that Jim Fox's first year? I think it was. And everyone's pretty excited. Like, oh yeah, man, this is great. It was kind of early in the conference season. I went back and looked at the year after that, and we went from like November 27th to like January 11th without winning a game. Like that is such a long time. So like we went 5 or 6 weeks without winning a game. And it was so terrible.
At least most of the students weren't there to see it.
I guess. I mean, you can say that for that whole era.
You know how much Jim Fox always told me back in the day. He was like, the whole league hates Ron Hunter. He told us how they would do. Ron Hunter would always like try to tag along and be like, "Hey, where y'all going to dinner, or where y'all going to do whatever, and hang out?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're going over there. We're going to leave in about 20." And then Fox would be like, we had a ride already set up. We snuck out like all different times, like 3 minutes later, and we just ghosted him all the time. I said nobody
wow.
like taking out with Ron Hunter.
Really, coming from Jim Fox, that's a it's a pretty strong statement. I mean, he must have been terrible if people are hanging out with Jim Fox instead of Ron Hunter. Was he was the one that like he had like the boot on his foot in the NCAA tournament, like he was on the one of those
fell off the stool. It
He
is the
fell off
game
the
against
stool.
Baylor. He hit the like 27-foot 3-pointer from the top of the key, like all types of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were kind of a sensation then. You know, it was
Yeah.
Georgia State. I'm like, man, we're never going to beat these guys.
Yeah. And now,
Then
you know, it's just a little, it's been a little different in the,
it's been a lot different.
yeah, been a lot different. All right, let's get the show started. Want to thank our Olympic sponsor, Styles Roofing. For those of you in the greater Charlotte area, the best in the business. So if you need your roof repaired or replaced, there's a number you need to know, 704-842-1874 to reach. You can call or text to reach Appalachian alumnus and superfan Billy Styles. And they're going to get your roof done quick. They are not going to get paid up front. They're going to only get paid when the job's done and you're satisfied. I actually referred a roof to him today, actually, to a client who lives down towards Gastonia. So good stuff. And Community One Insurance for 2026. Insurance rates are going up across the board. It seems like every year. So if you want to make sure that you have the best price for your insurance, and this could be anything, home and auto and more, you want to make sure that you are getting the best price and the best service. You want to contact Zach Ligon or Matthew Johnson at Community One. They are graduates of Appalachian State. They love working with Mountaineer fans, and they're good at it. So get better service, save you some money. Check out communityoneInsurance.com, and you can call or text 828-455-2335 to start getting a quote and to saving some money. Why in the world would you not? It just makes sense. So let's start, Charles, kicking off things, talking about wrestling. SoCon play is on deck, or it's here rather, and we absolutely smash Presbyterian, literally win every single weight class except 184. The only blue hose to win a match is Reed Douglas defeats Joe Zovistovsky. There you go. Woo! All right. There you go. But no, it's basically a clean sweep outside of that. 46-4, absolute beatdown. And next on deck we have VMI Thursday. But Charles, what a way to kick off SoCon season.
Just just really disgusting. I mean, 46 is doing work. That is really hard to achieve in a wrestling match. Duel. So several tech falls. There was a forfeit, a couple majors. That all mixes in. So you see 46-4. That's doing the work. So it's a good to see. And what does wrestling have? I just closed with tab AJ. I thought it was VMI.
It's VMI.
But I closed with tab. And that's tomorrow, right? Or it's this evening, right? It's on Thursday.
It's tomorrow. Oh yeah, Thursday, yeah. And then we got Virginia Tech next, number 7 in the country.
That'll be fun. Yeah,
be tough.
See where we are. See what our how our injury situation is shaping up, and all those good things.
Yeah. Now moving on to shooty hoops here. We got the ladies just completed a game against Old Dominion before we hit the record button, and so we've already covered that. So we're not actually used to recording when these midweek games happen, but we split a home series against Coastal. Did we already cover the Coastal game last? I think we did. I think we already talked about losing the Coastal last week. I think we already went up because they played on a Wednesday. The ladies are playing on a lot of Wednesdays this year. But we have not talked about winning against Southern Miss. Played them at 1:00 on Saturday, and we lose this evening against Old Dominion. So we split, one at home, one on the road. 82-59 is a big win against Southern Miss, and we drop I don't know, relatively close matchup against the Monarchs. So Charles, I mean, we got a split. I mean, that's we're what are we in conference here? 1-5, not great, not good, but and not really trending well in that regard.
Yeah. Saturday was a lot of fun for the fact that both the men and the women played at the same time, and I
Yeah,
had my youngest daughter at the game by myself, who is fun to be around. And
firecracker.
yeah, and my wife was like, "How was she?" And I was like, "She was fine. She was totally fine. She just wanted to watch part of the other game. She held the phone for me, like while I'm watching both games. She's like, "Are you kidding me?" I was like, "Yeah, it was great." She's like, "Unbelievable." Which matters not to the final score of the women's basketball game of 82-59. An explosive second half. I think Southern Miss was just kind of wore out as the thing goes. It's like it's a Saturday. They've traveled. They've been on the road twice, and they just scored 6 points in the fourth quarter, but it had nothing to do with it. Like we just shot the ball well all game long from everyone, and we played really good defense on Southern Miss. Like they had like 2 girls scoring double figures, but it was outside of that, that was it. Like they had Jacayla Johnson was 9 of 16 from the field, and she scored 23 points. And then Haley Breland was 3 of 14. That's not good. And Melanie Thames was 3 of 15. So that's like the majority of their shots. Like you put that math together, there's 45 of their 63 shots, and that's just not enough going in. And shout out to Jaden McBride. She hit 6 threes. She was unconscious, 10 of 4 from neither field, 26 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and a clean turnover sheet as well. Emma Smith did her thing, 17, 5 assists, 11 rebounds from your point guard is incredible in 37 minutes. It was just a great night from those two, and everyone else kind of chipped in as needed. 14 threes. That is how you get your offense going. And it was really, really fun to watch the ladies get their first conference win of the year. Just shot the ball well all afternoon long. Really, really impressive.
And what was not impressive was tonight against Old Dominion. Another every time we do this, Charles, I look at the second quarter now
It
because it's
has become a thing, AJ.
snake bit, man. The second quarter, we can't get Pyatt.
No. That this is a really well played first quarter. Both teams filling each other out. Neither team could shoot the ball well. Is what I'm trying to say. The entire game, we just like really tailed off, and that second quarter bit us again. That's where we fell behind, and then the beginning of the third, we fell behind even further. I mean, 20 points in the middle quarters, middle periods is you just can't. You're just not going to win a lot of games if you're just doing that, and that just seems to be what happened. And the inverse of Saturday, didn't shoot the ball well, only 5 threes, 5 of 25 from there.
Yeah,
That's 20%. 16 of 54 is just bad.
ugly.
30 under 30%. I mean, if you take away the free throws, it's a very ugly offensive performance.
ODU though has like also terrible shooting numbers as well. Like this, it's not like either team was playing great. Just bad basketball.
It was bad all around. I mean, they hit 20. We haven't mentioned this. It's a 65-54 final, right? So we hit 17 free throws, and they hit 21 free throws. That's like a third of the points. Like a third of the points are on the free throw line. And just hit a couple more. Our real issue was the turnovers. We had 19 turnovers, and it came in bunches, and it came by a lot of the players who played a lot of minutes. And it didn't feel like ODU was playing like great defense. Like they were not forced. It was just like silly stuff.
Yeah.
And they did a lot better job of protecting the ball. So they only had 8. So it's 11 opportunities you gave them to to essentially have the win, give that away. I mean, at the end, like both teams shot the ball 54 times, but we threw away a lot of offensive possessions. Now we kind of made this. We cut it to 6 late in the fourth, but it wasn't enough. Like we were just not there, and you could tell that ODU was like, "All right, let's just kind of hold on to this." But
Yeah.
this was just not our night, and it's just really tough to see. This offense is just not quite there. And you can look at the points off turnovers, and it's 13-4. I mean, there's just essentially your margin, of the game. So you can't go on the road and give free possessions away. So the women fall to 1-5 in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, not looking good on that front. Just need to be more consistent on offense. Just not looking good. Now the men, we're still looking very middle of the road in terms of conference play. We'll win a big game. We'll lose a game we shouldn't have lost. We'll beat Old Dominion like a drum on the road and then lose a tough one at Marshall. Whatever. But so this is an interesting split, Charles. So this was a 4-game road stretch here for us, which we know is tough. The way the Sun Belt has these games scheduled is just a little frustrating. Go down to Georgia State, and this is one of the ugliest, sloppiest, most ridiculous games that we played in a bit, and we win it. We shouldn't have won this game. Georgia State. This felt a lot like, to me, how Georgia State beat us. Like, we shouldn't have lost that game to Georgia State at home. Like they got in front to a point where we felt like, all right, well, this is what it came off to me. I mean, obviously, I'm not on the team. It just came off. We were kind of toying with them a little bit and thought, like, we'll turn it on here a little bit. Well, that time never came, and they just beat us at home. This is what this felt like at Georgia State. Like, Georgia State just let us hang around. We shouldn't have won that game, but we won ugly. Coach Kearns loves winning ugly games. I mean, it just shows that you got to fight through it, slog through it. That's what that game was. There was really it's really no positives about it outside of we won. But then we go to Coastal, and it's kind of like the inverse of that. Like, we should have won that game. Like, we should have beat Coastal, but didn't. So a split on the road. If you're gonna, we really split the road trip 2-2. Really wish those numbers would be different, but man, that Georgia State game on Thursday night, man, that was hideous.
I think everyone would be right in saying that it feels like we shouldn't be just 3-3 right now, like in Sun Belt play.
Yeah.
But here's a little stat for you, AJ. Of the 14 teams in the Sun Belt, 3 teams started their conference slate and then had these early 4-game swings, like 4 early road games, and like this, like back-to-back weeks. And every single one of those teams went 2-2. So this is more evidence to point toward how this league is so close and so tight, and it'll come down to which game you pull one out that you shouldn't, and which game you lose that you shouldn't. Yeah. And that's been basically the weekend series against Georgia State and Coastal. Like, we would like to be at least 3-1 there. And we just aren't. And yeah, we stole this. We were down late. Kason Jennings hits a 3 to draw us in, and we're just there. And we did the right things at the right time. I mean, this is one of the wildest stat lines I've ever seen. That Kason Jennings is line in this game. He scored 10 points, and he scored 52. 10 points is it's a good bit. But he was 3 of 14 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, and he was of all players who played, had the best plus minus of plus 14. So that's what basketball is all about. It's like, when I'm on the floor, do I impact the game? Do I impact the game on the offensive side or defensively, etc.? He still had 3 turnovers. Didn't force as many. Had a steal, 1 assist. Like, it's kind of a oddly ugly stat line, but to think that he was plus 14 means that he mattered on that floor that night, playing 32 minutes. So that's just a really interesting thing. Luke Wilson has turned into a little bit of a double machine.
Yeah.
And the same thing for Michael Marcus Jr. Like, he kind of struggled in the early bit of the season, and the switch just kind of flipped. I mean, he had 14 rebounds. Luke had 13.
Yeah.
And Luke added 14 points, and not just like the thing that's crazy is like Michael Marcus had 8 offensive rebounds, 8 of the 17. Georgia State had 8 offensive rebounds themselves. So when you look at that like really matters. I think another thing that's really crazy about this game is that this game was tied 8 times, right?
Yeah.
If you put together the amount of time that Georgia State led, which was 28 minutes and 8 seconds, and then the amount of time that App State led, which is 3 minutes and 53 seconds, like you're talking about this game was tied
Yeah.
for like almost 8 whole minutes of time, like,
Yeah.
which is incredible. Like that is a tight basketball game. That's exactly what you expect to see in a 52-50 game. But Jelani Hamilton for Georgia State is our best player, high volume shooter, 17 points, led the team. Nobody else in double figures. Just 5 of 18 from the floor, and we just did enough. We just did enough in the second half to hold them off, and that's really what it came down to.
I tell you the percentages here. I don't know if you've noticed this. I noticed this looking at the box score here. We were 32.8% from the field against Georgia State. Georgia State was 32.8% from the field. We were 22.2% from 3. Georgia State was 22.2% from 3. We were 60% from the free throw line. They were 61.5%. Terrible numbers, just terrible. But we were matching us blow for blow. But I agree with Coach Kearns when he says, I love an ugly win. Someone's got to win those games. Someone has to step up and win those games. And we buckled down when it counted and pulled it out. The game against Coastal, not so much. I mean, that's when we need to. I don't know. We got to win that game. Tougher on the road. They just really pulled away in the second half and outscored us by 11 in the second half. And I don't know, man. We are very much like due and in need of a home stretch. We need to get back.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair. I think it's really crazy. Like if you look at the difference between these two games, and like Georgia State had 16 shots go in the bucket in the second half, 16, which is quite a bit for one half. I mean, we're just talking about the women's game where there was like it hit 19 total shots in the game. And of course they were hitting everything, 5 of 8 from 3. So their volume was great, 9 of 20 from 3 for the entire game. We weren't as good, but this is just one of those you just felt like it just got away. Coach Kearns is not happy about a 41-point second half allowed by his defense.
Yeah.
Well played kind of game. I mean, 11 total turnovers, none gave too much away. Coastal had a better bench. But here's the exact inverse of what happened on Thursday night. We were the team that led for over 30 minutes of the entire game and then gave it back.
Yeah.
And that's really just tough to stomach. Alonzo Dodd had 21, but it was a lot of layups, only 1 of 7 from 3. Tot came alive a little bit. Casey Jennings had 11. No one was really like super spectacular.
Yeah.
Except for like some of these like these Coastal Carolina bench players who like there was one guy who had 1 point, but he was a +9 in 18 minutes who came off the bench. Another guy, 11 minutes, 2 points, but he was a +12. Like, I mean, it feels like you just flipped these box scores from Thursday to Saturday, and essentially what you get on Saturdays in conference play, you're going to have a hard time with officials, and that's not an officials game, but that's not what happened here. It's just because we only committed 9 fouls for the entire game, and Coastal committed 17.
Yeah.
We got to the line and we hit them. We just didn't hit enough quality in the second half and couldn't match what they did. We want this back, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Another 12 rebounds for Michael Marcus. That's pretty incredible. But do we need to play at home? Absolutely. And we have opportunity in front of us to like go and win 3 games over the next 2 weeks. I think that will be spectacular. That would be what we need to have happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I like how Jalen Tott's been kind of coming along. You know, and Kearns, I think, does a really good job in that staff. I mean, I think they really who's got the hot hand. I mean, that's who's playing. And
Right.
if you're stepping up and you're doing a good job and the matchups are right, you know that's who's on the court. And you know, also I feel like we were kind of at this stage, you know, mid January last year when the league was like, all right, CJ Huntley and oh my gosh, Miles Tate.
Miles Tate.
You know, take them out of the equation, we're good. And I feel like, you know, Kaysen had such a hot start that, you know, we needed other players to step up. And I feel like, so year over year, it seems like to me, as great as Miles and CJ were, and they are, it almost feels like I feel like I have more confidence in the supporting cast this year than I did last year. Michael Marcus is a year older and obviously more effective, especially defensively. Luke Wilson has just, I mean, become like a genuinely really good player. I mean, you know, when they find him in the post close enough 1-on-1, then who's stopping him from backing him down? I mean, he can't. I mean, who's stopping him in this league? I mean, he's so strong. You got to be careful with him. Now, he's not he's not maybe the smoothest guy in the world down there or whatever, and he's still getting better at it. But and Alonzo's looked a lot sharper. He's driving to the basket more than he did last year. So hopefully we can take advantage of this home stretch and like pick up some wins, because I feel like from top to bottom, maybe this team has the ability to be a little better than last year.
Yeah, I agree with you on the depth piece to an extent. You know, and it was really tough on Saturday. You have another kind of similar situation with Kaysen James, was 4 of 16 from the floor, 11 points, but he's a -6, which is fine. But like, you know, we had 4 other players check in, and they took 3 shots. They were 1 of 3. They did not get to the free throw line. So we you know, I don't want us to run into the same situation we had like last February that we do upcoming, is that all of our volume is coming from like the top 5 and or 6 players. Now I get it, like Aaron Banks is hopefully on the men, hopefully playing this evening, Thursday. And maybe they will ease him back in. Maybe he won't start. Maybe he'll come off the bench and see how he goes and goes from there. And so like Dustin Kerr's never imagined Jalen Tott starting, and that's where we are. But he has actually stepped up, and he can hit from outside, and he provides a little bit of a spark. And we know how much a couple made threes do for this team in the style that we play.
Yeah.
Luke, and like you were saying, like Luke Wilson is really become hard to guard down there. He draws a lot of fouls, and it's the left hand. People are not used to defending the left hand.
Yeah.
And that is something that is certainly different. And he can kind of go both ways if needed. So I think we're like a lot stronger in the post than I thought we were like a month and a half ago. I think that's really helping. And if we can clean up the boards, grab some offensive boards, get some easy buckets, it's going to help us down the stretch. I just think this team's tired of being on a bus, ready to sleep in their own beds and play in the home center.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd like to see a little more slashing and driving effectively from Jason Clark too, because I think that's something that maybe last year the only guy that was really doing that, I think, effectively was Miles.
Yeah.
You know, Jalen Todd's got the hot hand right now from outside. He's not really driving, but anyway, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Looking forward to this home stretch. Got JMU, and who's the Saturday game? I just had it up here. Who we got on Saturday?
The Saturday game is scroll. Old Dominion.
Old Dominion. Okay, so you got the Virginia schools in town. Cool. Good deal. Any other Olympic sports things to talk about right now? Anything else going on?
I don't think so.
Baseball got their gear. I saw a video of the baseball team getting their new
That's
swag.
Good. You know, it's always crazy. Like they're doing the countdown. We talked about that a little bit last week, and you're like, man, the winter is just starting here. It's just, I know I feel like I talk about that every year. It's like, man, we're talking about snow tonight and like what's going to happen on Sunday and all this good stuff. But I guess there was one publication or that released an all Sun Belt team, and Cameron Miller was a utility guy as a first teamer, and Joseph Zamora was second baseman's representative. So that's pretty good. I will take that. And I saw someone else, one of these accounts, say that would finish 10th in the league, and I think everyone's about to learn Nico Soul's name real quick here in about a month or so.
Am I seeing new? Are these new jerseys? I know they got the 2-button deal. I don't know if those are.
You looking on X? Is that what you're looking?
I'm on IG right now. It's who is this holding this? Max Tremontana. Looking at this jersey, it's a black jersey with a white Mountaineer script. I don't know if that's practice or batting practice or a game jersey. It doesn't look quite like a game jersey. Maybe it is. I mean, I don't know, but baseball gear is pretty slick. Baseball warm-up stuff. It's pretty good looking. We have a really great apparel. I don't think we talked about that enough.
Yeah. Those look normal. I don't think those are new.
The black jersey with the Mountaineer script?
Where are you looking? Instagram?
Yeah. Here, hold on a second. Hold on. Where are we at?
What Instagram do I have?
Are you on MySpace?
Yeah, I'm like something's going on
here.
That?
Can you see that?
Oh yeah, I see that now. Is that may just be a warm up?
Yeah.
There's no number on. There's no number on it.
Looks good. Oh yeah, there's no on the front. Yeah, there's no. Yeah, you're right.
You had me going there for a second. I was like, wait a minute.
They didn't look quite official enough. Yeah.
I kind of feel like I would have heard from somebody if we were getting new jerseys or adding a color or something like that.
Yeah. We got a good look, man. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what old Kermit's got to say, especially, I mean, one thing that we just desperately need is pitching depth. Be really interesting to hear how that's coming along. Got some construction that's going to be coming up here too for
yeah, this is a construction year. Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be
There's some trees out.
Cool. Yeah, there you go. Go get them taken care of. And then softball, I guess they went down and are having a spring training of their own down in Pawleys Island, I guess.
That's kind of neat. I did not see that.
Yeah, I guess they're just, Whitney Jones, I guess, still isn't used to the weather. I guess you just need to get some beach weather going. But
well, where that field is, it is in the dark right now.
Yeah.
It is even late in the season. That is a tough area. So
yeah. And their first game, softball's first game in is Friday, February 6th. So I mean, they're like
it's like next week, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. That is certainly what it feels like. But yeah, so all right, we got that to look forward to. One thing that I did want to share, this has already been up here. I'm not sharing anything inside baseball. This is public. There is a date for a celebration of life for Coach Clark. This is something Nolan Jones posted, who's the football ops guy for Appalachian. Saturday, February 21st in Orlando at 2. Anybody who loves Sean Clark is warmly invited. So more details to come, but I just want to share that because a lot of folks want to. And I've had a lot of people ask, like, did they ever do anything? And the answer was that, when you are a football coach, like, everybody knows the lifestyle. And so they, you're not going to have something in season. That would have been hectic. But anyway, for anybody that's interested and want to know, that's what's going on with that. So let's touch on a little bit of football here. We did have a flurry of commits from the portal. So we have obviously a lot of guys left. I did not see Mitch Lake put in. I did not see that. I totally missed that. Did you see Mitch Lake?
I did not see that. When I pulled it up, I was like, oh, missed that one. Well, I guess it was yesterday.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So and then I saw Thomas Davis outside well, I guess edge pass rusher is at Tulsa now.
Big Trey
So
Lamb
he's
guy.
big Trey Lamb guy. Yeah, is he. Now here's what's interesting to me. So because we've had a lot of experience with this at this point. So we got some positions that we really need filled. Got to have some help at linebacker, safety, and we have an interesting transfer here for like I'll just say Keyshawn Thomas here at a linebacker. Now, when you get somebody from the portal, this isn't some like development project. Like you need somebody to play. That's what the portal's for.
Right.
What do you think about getting guys from like peer groups? Because like Keyshawn Thomas is transferring from Old Dominion at linebacker. Now, Old Dominion is better than us last year, but versus like, what was his name? Andrew Parker from Arkansas. He's a good player for us. Goes from Arkansas down to Appalachian, good player. But a G5 or a peer transfer, it's interesting to me that let's wonder how that's going to play out.
We should have known Andrew Parker was our premonition of things to come. That we should have known he was foreshadowing. Premonition was a terrible word. Foreshadowing. But, when you basically, yeah, like you said, when you've got guys coming from somewhere else, like your expectation is these guys are going to compete, right, for a starting gig, right? And there's some position groups where you're like, not everyone. I mean, everyone could compete, but not everyone's going to get there. And sometimes it's just like, hey, this is an opportunity, whereas they didn't see one in the past. But when you have someone who's like a certified like player and is decent, you just kind of wonder. And there wasn't any like coaching change at Old Dominion that I saw that was crazy. It's not like they lost their head coach. But maybe there's different parts of a team, like where it was that Colton Joseph went. Did he go to Wisconsin? Is that right? Did I get? Did I remember that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, he did.
And so, as D'Lo told us at Mountaineer Talk before we played them, he said that guy is not going to play for them next year, or that guy is going to demand a high figure. He is going to be sought after. And that's what you get when you have someone who can throw the ball well and run. And so that's what college football is. You got to have a playmaker at the quarterback position. And so does that switch it like something there? Or is this something where just like, I disagree with my position coach, or I really liked what I saw there, and I think they're on the rise and we're not on the rise, and that we don't have a quarterback behind Colton Joseph. We won't be as good next year. Who knows? There are a lot of factors. Maybe just wanted a fresh start. Maybe just wanted out of Norfolk. Who knows? But this is a guy who can play. And there's certainly other guys who have since switched schools and are coming to App that have played significant minutes at other places and come from schools with names that are more than just Sunbelt teams. Like, I get it, like, to an extent, but I try not to think like get too over the top now with look, when you're developing high school players, you're thinking like what back in the day, 2 years down the road, maybe 3, and you can get an idea. You can tell a coach is like, yeah, this guy's gonna be special. Like, when Darrington Evans committed, like, dude, it's just, he will be special. He will contribute to this football team. It'll be great. And there's plenty of other like examples out there. But like, I don't want to get too, over the top on, whether someone comes from Old Dominion or Virginia Tech or North Carolina, or anything, because it's like, Appalachian State is not getting a guy who is like a former 4 or let's say 5-star, like high school recruit that's going to come in and be and has been a baller at a G5 school and then just goes to another G5 school.
Yeah.
This is like kind of like the value situation here. I think that's how we got to look at this to an extent, right? Is like who's out there, who is someone we can take like a chance on, who we know is a good athlete who can contribute, but we gotta there's something, there's a little chink in the armor somewhere
Mm-hmm.
that gets you to saying, hey, look, it's worth taking a chance on because nobody else is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's kind of like a situation like Trayon Webb from Florida. Like
Mm-hmm.
all the social media posts I saw and other things were like, this guy's really good. He just got
Yeah.
hurt every year.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants an opportunity, and he was highly rated. And
Who's that
you
sound
know
like?
what? Right.
Yeah.
You know,
Rashad
hey,
Dominion, for those that haven't put the pieces together. Yeah.
exactly. And can do the thing. And so that's a good situation to look forward to, is that like that's great depth. That's probably
Yeah.
better depth than we had, assuming health, coming in, than we had this year. Now, if you want to look back and say, well, we knew that there would be a Kanye and there would be Rashad and there would be Trig. But like, I don't know if we can like really say we knew that we were going to need Trig Lewis in like November to be our
Yeah.
starter, and like there'd be nobody else behind him really. And so if you look forward and you say, all right, you've got Kanye and you got Trig, maybe, and then you got Trayon Webb who has the potential, then like that's almost looks like stronger to an extent. So it's tough to really measure. I don't want to get overexcited. Like there could be a dude that comes from Gardner Webb who
Yeah.
is great for us. There could be a guy who comes from UCF, which is interesting. Then we got a couple of those guys that are coming to the
Yeah.
Boone. Who knows? Like what is it?
Yeah, I think that's right. I think though that in this new age, we put the variables together and kind of stereotype. Like we got this kid Kevin Henderson, linebacker. He's from Findlay, which I've never heard of. Findlay. I've never heard of this school. But he's coming as a linebacker. And then we got, like, we just started this conversation by talking about the linebacker from ODU, Keyshawn Thomas. So like the way that like my brain initially stacks that together as a stereotype is linebacker, school I've never heard of, at Appalachian State. He has potential to be like this diamond in the rough. He did it really well at his level. Appalachians give him a chance to come up to this level. Someone likes the measurables. Some, DJ or Loggins, they saw something. They're gonna take a flyer out. Could be hit. Could be. I mean, the ceiling could be high. Maybe he doesn't make it. No, whatever. That's kind of how I see it. Whereas I see the thing that I don't see is the peer like conference, like interchange from conferences. Like, okay, you're not at ODU because there's some reason you're not there, and you did a good job laying it out. Like, was there some crazy coach change or whatever? But now you're coming here. Like, what are you expected to? Like, what am I to expect? Are you going to be definitely going to be better than you were? Why aren't you there? Why aren't you going? I hate to say this. Why aren't you going somewhere else then? So like, what's the deal? Whereas somebody like, let's just look at here, Trey Walker from Virginia. Okay, well, somebody that maybe just Coach Elliott's been recruiting hard at Virginia, and maybe he got out recruited, and he's going to be. I can make sense of you came from a lower level up or a higher level down, but it's hard for me to see, like, I don't know, hard for me to make heads or tails of the direct peer, because even though UCF is just a few years removed from being a G5 or whatever, they're not really. They're a little bit higher up. So, and that's where Caden Robinson came from. I mean, we got him from UCF. So it's just interesting. So like Josh Williams, this cornerback from Dayton, he had great numbers at Dayton. So is this going to be like a Tyreek Funderburk, where he comes from a FCS program? He's going to be really, really good. I don't know. I do have it on good authority though, and so I'll say it. Khalil Conley from Carolina, University of Non-Compliance. He not that Khalil wasn't compliant. I'm sorry, I did not mean to. Sorry, I'm just talking trash and I'm getting myself into trouble. So Khalil Connolly played under our good friend Alex Gray at Christ School in high school in Asheville, and so Alex really was encouraging Khalil to pick Appalachian after he made the decision to go into the portal, and I've been assured that Kill's a really good player at corner. So looking forward to that. And if he's not, you can blame Alex Gray for setting the wrong expectations. But out of all these incoming transfers, I mean, and then at this point, you don't know who to focus in on. Like, we got this kid, Graydon Grimes from Kansas, offensive tackle. I mean, we've gotten transfers from Kansas. They never played, you know? I mean, so what does that mean? I don't know. It does seem, though, that, Charles, we got Trent Ramsey, Poindexter, and Caden Sweat. It seems like they're returning from the offensive line this year. Now, Poindexter got hurt. He didn't play most of the year. Caden Sweat, I think he's a redshirt sophomore, so he's got another room to grow here. And then Trent Ramsey, he's another one that got hurt, out for the year. It seems like with Cameron Burris from Anderson, Mac Walters from South Carolina, big tackle, Graydon Grimes. I don't know. It seems like they're, you know, I mean, you say, coaches say all the time they want 10 offensive linemen in the rotation, but you know you're not going to get that. You're going to, I think in this day and age, maybe
not anymore.
If they say if you got 7, you're in pretty good shape.
Yeah.
So what's that going to be? Do we have a guy on the roster? I mean, because like Scroggs is gone, Gabe Funk is gone. Like, what is this? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to watch this offensive line thing develop. But the other thing, so we talked already about Malachi Singleton, the two-way player. Two-way player. The dual threat quarterback.
He's a pitcher and a DH.
That's right. Yeah, he's Travis Hunter, the Appalachian Travis Hunter. Henry Hasselbeck. So we ended the show last week, me saying, do you think we got another quarterback coming? And you said yes. Here is Henry Hasselbeck, son of Matt Hasselbeck, who has got so much more hair than his dad.
Who saw this coming?
Well, are you talking about the picture from Twitter?
No. Just well, yeah. I mean,
just him knowing
just about every opportunity. Yeah, just about every opportunity there was mention, and you know, the ABCs of football are always be recruiting and or just recruiting, and I think D'Lo was recruiting the whole, you know, that of the whole time, and that seemed to play well. Who would ever, you know, the first thing that came to mind was obviously the whole, you know, Joey thing for a second. But
yeah.
Do you remember the other UCLA quarterback that came to App?
It wasn't. I mean, I know he's from California. It wasn't Daniel Jeremiah. No, I don't. Who was it?
Jackson Gibbs.
Jackson Gibbs. Wow. Hopefully he plays more than Jackson Gibbs.
North Carolina native yet. Right, exactly. So I was like, man, look at this. I remember how excited I was for that. And then you know.
Yeah.
So who knows? He's apparently he played lacrosse in high school, right? So he's got some athleticism. And there's nobody that plays lacrosse that can't run. If you play lacrosse and you cannot run, you're the goalie. That's pretty.
Yeah. What's the point? Yeah, you can't have a slow lacrosse player.
No, they all run. So
you
know, there's some dual threat to that as well.
Yeah. So I watched a little bit of his tape, and yeah, he can move. I mean, he's a good athlete for sure. And it looks like here he enrolled at UCLA in 24. So I guess he was a redshirt freshman this past season. So now he'll be a redshirt sophomore with, I guess, 3 years of eligibility coming in. Man, I'd love to be like a fly on the wall and just like hear like, hey, I'm bringing you in here. I want you to be the man, but I'm also going to be talking in the exact same way to this guy and telling him the same thing. And they're basically being put in a room to like eat each other, right? You know, just to say like,
yeah,
I want your job. And, you know, and they're both like using a year of precious eligibility and another
Mm-hmm.
stop. Like, this is a big bet on themselves. And you really only, I don't want to say you only find it, but I think quarterback is the position where, like, you really see that. I don't know. Like, you could be in a running back room, and instead of getting 20 touches a game, maybe you get 7. Maybe you could work your way up. But I mean, that's if Matt Hasselbeck, if Henry Hasselbeck is really good, like really good, Malachi Singleton won't see the field. He will get no touches.
And vice versa.
And vice versa.
Yeah.
Malachi Singleton's really good, but Henry's gonna pack it back, go back to Massachusetts, play at Boston College.
Right. And so what do we know? Like, we're gonna have some type of spring exhibition kind of situation, and I'm pretty sure although I wasn't there, but the reviews from the last spring was like, you had some people who are like, this is the guy, and other people were like, that's the guy, and it ended up exactly how I guess you could have expected it or predicted it, is that there was really no guy at the end of the year.
Man, isn't that crazy how that never changed? Like, Loggins is up there saying no one separated themselves, and like literally was from beginning to end, like nobody really is stepping up. And all due respect to the guys that like JJ Cole didn't play an offensive brand of football or anything like that, but there wasn't that clear like, this is the man right here.
There was
like,
no separation
from spring.
Yeah. It just was no separation. It's like it's like an interview that you have in your office, and you're like, I just wanted a little bit more, like just, you were fine. You were just kind of fine. You didn't say anything dumb. You didn't say anything too smart either. And it's probably a bad way to compare that, but that's just kind of what it turned out being.
I wonder. I also wonder how this is going to work out. And I'll just say this because I don't care. It's another year of irresponsibility. So when we recruited Navy Schuler, this is very similar to Jackson Gibbs. So he was at Christ School, and Navy Schuler, dad Heath Schuler, who's quarterback, really good quarterback at Tennessee, and all that good stuff. We signed him, and the fans were like, "Oh yeah, got Navy Schuler." He had some good numbers. He threw some good receivers in high school. But like, he gets to App, and I had a conversation with a former player who's now a coach, like in the industry, like currently. And I was just casually talking about like, yeah, Heath Schuler not Heath Schuler, Navy Schuler. And he told me like point blank, like, if that kid's last name wasn't Schuler, he'd be fighting hard to win a spot at Gardner Webb. And I was like, what? And he said, dude, nepotism and like who your daddy is absolutely still comes into play, even at this level of football. And he got like Appalachian State offered him, and they were trying to bring into the fold. Had nothing to do really with his tape, his last name. And that turned out to be the case. I mean, Navy never played. And I'm not trying to diss Navy at all. I really am not. That's not my point. But he goes to Tennessee, and he's like a coaching assistant or whatever, which is fine. God bless him. But in this situation, it'll be interesting because Henry Hasselbeck is a good athlete. Like, you can clearly see it. You can clearly see he's a good athlete. But you watch him move and watch him throw. Like, that kid's not a scrub at all. But how does that translate to the game when the lights are on? You know what I'm saying? This is just interesting to see that dynamic. Famous last name, got the build, can throw it, can run. Will it translate when the lights come on?
Well, that's not someone that has just been recruited for the last 3 months, for the last 10 years. That's a relationship that's been formed, and whether there is part of that nepotism going on, yeah, sure, it could be. But what if he's just
no idea?
And what if he fits, and what if it works out? We just don't know. But I mean, last week when we were talking, and it was like, why in the world is Matt Hasselbeck wearing an App State like hat on the couch?
He was in Delo's office. He had a Tigma sign on the back.
Yeah, well, I don't know if he was in Delo's office, because it looked like he was in one of the suites because of that yellow paint.
Well, maybe. Yeah,
who knows? But I was like, well, look, AJ, you and I have been up there. Like,
yeah,
that tent. I was like, I know I don't know exactly where that is, but I know approximately where that is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, that's where they send everybody up to go record a quiet segment without interruptions.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, take the elevator to the 6th floor and take a
Yep.
right.
Yep.
Go back in there
Been there, done
somewhere.
that. That's hilarious. Oh, it's funny.
I was like, that's sure a lot of memorabilia that looks very familiar, you know? It's like,
Yeah.
hey, okay,
Matt
okay.
Hasselbeck, just a big App State fan, just casually,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, just casual.
I
And
want so
yeah.
so Loggins did a great job, like with the whole I'm forgetting his name now. Lenore Sellers in skiing and stuff. Masterclass at just like playing the internet game. That was like it was hilarious. Like, oh, I love skiing, you know, and little it's Lenore Sellers like I'm in Boone. It's like it was great. Like that was so funny.
But
Like
it
Matt
was funny.
Hasselbeck getting on there with a block A on his hat. Like
Yeah.
I mean it had to have been like Loggins had to have been like, wear this.
Go up there. Nobody
Put
will
this
know.
on.
No, everybody knew.
Just mess with people. Yeah. Oh, that'd have been hilarious. But
What are the odds that Matt Hasselbeck is wearing an App State hat with a Luke Combs logo in the back or sticker from the concert, and there just happens to be like a baseball bat in the background that's black and has a Mountaineer script on it and all that good stuff.
I missed all that. I only saw a couple of. I missed all. That,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I wasn't looking at Matt Hasselbeck, but I was like, all right, what's behind him? That's the picture.
Matt, oh, that's hilarious. Yeah,
The
Matt
next
played Super Bowl.
the next important interview with something like that will be like a green screen of like the beach, you know, and it looks like, oh,
Yeah.
he's done at Conway. He's a Hilton Head.
Wearing an airbrush T-shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean the kid. I mean, blonde hair, 6'3", and runs like a deer. I mean, he looks like a good player, but I just, man, I still like to this day, like I just don't know how's it gonna work? How's it gonna translate? You just don't know. Don't know how this works. So
I'll say this: what was really funny about Sellers is that like the next day, it was like Lenore Sellers expected to return to South Carolina, has agreed to a new deal, and I'm like, what if he did that just to, you know, just to like, hey, why don't y'all just empty the clip on my boy over here?
oh, I didn't think about that. That is hilarious. I mean, because
That's all it takes.
That happens in life. Like, hey, man, give me an offer so I can, you know, get a little extra juice out of my team or whatever. I mean, that happens, you know.
I mean, can you imagine us going to an ice cream shop somewhere else, you know, and being like,
Right.
hey, man, this is pretty good right here.
Yeah, go to Kilwins.
Yeah,
Get
like,
this. They got a fudge shop.
Love the fudge.
Peanut butter fudge. Hey, maybe Blue Deer. I mean, I don't know. You gotta check it out. Oh, it's hilarious.
We're gonna get
whole...
text tomorrow. You know that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, 100%. Speaking of that, I hate that. Well, I've waited till the very end to do this, but we are very grateful for Blue Deer, downtown Boone, downtown Blowing Rock, and West Jefferson.
Nice
Get a
segue,
hot
yeah.
cup of Say what?
Nice segue, yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was great. Thank you for providing the opportunity because I would have totally whiffed on that. But it's going to be super, 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 super cold. So get yourself a hot drink at Blue Deer. Get a cookie to go along with it. We thank them for sponsoring. And then Mountaineer Mania, downtown Boone. I did this on purpose. I'm actually drinking from a tumbler that I got from Mountaineer Mania. I love it. It's my silver Mountaineer Mania guy.
Yeah.
Man, this looks terrible on the green screen thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I love this thing. Dude, this was like $20. It's crazy. It's such a huge, sturdy tumbler, Yukon tumbler with the silver Mountaineer Mania logo on it. It's awesome.
Sick.
Yeah, it's cool. So go check it out. Get your warm weather stuff. Get your hoodies. Get your coats. Get your leather jackets. Got a lot of really, really high-end stuff at Mountaineer Mania. And remember, when you shop at Mountaineer Mania, you are supporting Appalachian Athletics because a portion of your purchase will go to support Mountaineer Athletics. It's a Boone staple. Go check them out. Charles, is there anything else we need to cover on this here program?
I think we've covered it, AJ, for another week.
I think we have. So, all right, cool. Well, with that being said, thank you to Boonshine and all our sponsors for supporting the show. Thank you for listening. Thanks for downloading. And until next week, go Apps.